Welcome to Tailwind. In today's video, we're going to build a sleek and modern Invoice History UI component using Tailwind CSS. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a beautiful component like the one you see on the screen. Let's dive in. Let's start by creating a basic container for our Invoice History component. We'll use a div with classes B, G white, P4, rounded, shadow, and W full. This gives us a white background, padding, rounded corners, and a shadow for depth. We'll also center it using MX-Auto and add some margin at the top with Mount 10. Next, let's add a title to our component. Inside the container, we'll add an H2 element with the text Invoice History. We'll style it using the classes text-XL, font semi-bold, and text gray 700 to make it stand out. Now we'll add a list to display our invoice items. We'll use an unordered list with the classes divide-y and divide-gray 200 to separate each item with a subtle line. Let's add our first invoice item. We'll create a list item with the classes py4 and flex to space out the content. Inside, we'll have two spans, one for the invoice number and one for the amount. To demonstrate multiple items, let's add another invoice to our list. We'll simply duplicate the previous list item and update the content. Let's add one more invoice to complete our list. Again, we'll duplicate a list item and change the details. For a more visually appealing design, let's add an image next to each invoice item. We'll use a placeholder image from placehold.co and add it to each list item with a class of ML4 for spacing. To highlight the invoice amounts, let's change their color to green using the text green 500 class. This makes the amounts more noticeable. Finally, let's make the invoice numbers bold by adding the font medium class to each span containing the invoice number. This completes our Invoice History component. Congratulations on building your own Invoice History UI component with Tailwind CSS. We've covered how to use classes like BG White, Border, Shadow, and more to create a clean and responsive design. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest tutorials. See you next time on Tailwind.